Hey guys, what's going on? This is Campo and welcome back to my channel. So on today's video, first of all, it's kind of been a minute since I've posted anything, but I figured with the Alliance War season coming to an end, I had been recording some fights and I'm going to slowly be uploading a few of those. Just to give you a little update, I have basically taken a season off from high tier Alliance play. And I actually joined an alliance with some of my friends back in, we had been playing together back in 2016 and 17. And they're still all together. And we actually had a really fun season where things were a little bit more relaxed, kind of in Tier 3 and Tier 4 Alliance Wars. And the cool thing about that is that I got to sort of take some fights and some lanes that I wasn't used to taking. And namely, that was Path 9. On the Alliance War map, and also I pretty much took the Hazard Shift mini boss on Node 49 in every war, and this was a fight that I was not doing when I was in higher tier wars, simply because we had other people with better counters. But I really do think that I learned a lot, and what I'm putting together for you in this video is a compilation of all of the unique defenders that I faced throughout this past Alliance War season. As you can imagine, there are trends, and there were definitely a lot of Dragon Mans and Voids and things like that. But basically, there were 5 defenders that I faced, and instead of showing you every single fight, I'm just kind of doing a compilation of a solo of each of them. And the first one, I think, was kind of the most interesting because we were definitely in Tier 3 at this point. So we had the expert map, and this is a rank 3 Havoc. And it was a fight that I had not done on this node before. And, typically against a Havoc, I might choose someone like Guillotine 2099 or Warlock. But in this case, I gave it a little bit of a thought, and I was thinking that maybe Colossus would be better for 2 reasons. First of all, unlike the robots, he is able to willpower heal off of the plasma debuffs, which is really nice. And additionally, obviously with all of the scenarios I listed, it's immunity, but only half immunity. And the other 2 robots are going to be poison immune, whereas obviously Colossus is incinerate immune. And the nice thing about that is that, the first phase of immunity that you have to deal with is incinerate, which means that basically, like, right at the start of the fight, you can start hitting Havoc. And I was a little nervous if I took in Warlock that maybe I would be, hitting into him a little bit too late in the fight, and I might have been backed into the corner from being too passive at the beginning during that incinerate phase. So as you can see, I started the fight off nice and slow, not doing anything too crazy, trying not to hit him at all during the poison phase, letting those debuffs heal me up, and looking at the timer, I still have 2 minutes left and he's almost down. So I know at this point that even if I do hit him a little bit during the poison phase, I'm probably going to be fine. Was hoping for some crits on that special 2 and didn't quite get it. But the name of this game is really just being patient, reparrying so that we get more armors up. And we get even more armors up from the proccing of all the incinerates that never apply because of the SIG ability of Colossus. And as you can see there, I did take a couple poisons, so there was no flex of the full yellow bar at the end of the fight, but at that point I knew that the fight was won and that the ticking damage of the poisons wouldn't be too bad. So again, that's a 4-star Colossus against a rank 3 Havoc on expert map, and that one went pretty well. So next up, this will be a much faster fight, but we have Void, and Void used to be a very tricky defender here because of Stubborn, but now that Ghost is fully able to be used, it's pretty much a Ghost fest, and she's totally fine. You'll see this fight goes by very quickly. I don't even really have any tech boost or anything. I think this was actually in the off season, so I was super cash about the boosting, but I figured that I would be able to get him down one way or another. Now, listen, I am not the best Ghost player out there. That is very well known. I don't have any synergies with me here. I'm just trying to kind of survive the fight and get off one more special 2. But it was very fun to be able to bring Ghost to war, which is something that I was not doing in my previous alliance, just because we had some rank 3 Ghosts and stuff like that. So, Void is a classic placement there, but with Protect, not really the greatest strategy putting him there, because Ghost just eats him up. So, this could be looked at as another boring Quake fight, but I want to just tell you about how you set up Quake on Stun Immune Dragon Man. What most people don't realize is that if you block the special 1, it cancels the power charge. So I'm just kind of being passive and making sure I don't get cornered. And then as soon as he gets that special 1, we're going to try to bait this thing out and take a blocked hit, and he puts the ineptitude on you, and he gets rid of his power charge. Now we start the regular quaking, and the hope is that a concussion is up when the timer expires, and it just happened. So now we are completely set up. Once again, if you didn't see that, we wanted concussion active when the timer for the power charge expires, and then that cancels the power charge, and it will cancel it for the entire rest of the fight. It will never come back, even if I get hit or anything like that. So at this point, it's just going to be another boring Quake fight. But this was a rank 3 Dragon Man, and the only reason I included this instead of, just not including it because it's a boring Quake fight is because there is that crucial setup at the beginning. And, you can say what you want, like maybe M.O.D.O.K would be a better counter here, or Human Torch. I don't know. I really don't know who people use here because I don't play in the Alliance Wars. And like I said, I never played this node. But I had learned from a couple other people that are great Quake players that this is the way to do it. I will also say the other strategy for taking down this Dragon Man with Quake, if perhaps he doesn't throw the special 1, if he throws the special 2, the same result will happen in terms of him losing his power charge. So, essentially you have to make sure you don't get backed into the corner, and you have to either block a special 1 or bait out completely a special 2, and then just hope that your concussion timing lines up. It is certainly possible that your concussion timer will not line up and that he will gain another power charge. And if that happens, it's a lot trickier because you are going to have to bait out another special 1 in the corner, which, for me, that's a little bit more difficult. So I was very happy that this one worked out, and we were just able to take down this rank 3 Dragon Man without losing any health or anything. And yeah, that's how Quake works on that node. It's pretty sweet, actually, how you can do that. And once you set it up, it's just a regular old Quake fight, and it's pretty much foolproof at that point. So that's how you take Dragon Man there. Next up, this one's actually kind of a fun one. So we saw Aarkus here, and I actually brought in a rank 1 6-star Mephisto, because, there may have been other counters that I had at rank 3 or, 565. But the thing is, Mephisto counters this fight so perfectly. He has the curse or whatever it's called, where there are no buffs at the start of the fight, and you can refresh that with a special 1, which I don't keep that up for the entire time because I also wanted to kind of keep my safety net. Of course, he is Incinerate immune and Poison immune, so he will not be taking any damage from the hazard shift. And on top of that, when he has Incinerates on him, he's going to be gaining power so that I can basically always have specials ready. He's also Cold Snap immune, so even though I have the armor break on me, I'm only taking a little bit of willpower healing instead of cold snap damage. Had to block that one. But the other great thing about Mephisto is that I'm completely able to, cheat death if I needed to. So, like, let's say I accidentally push him to a special 3, I would be able to survive that. But fortunately, I don't get to that point. And the other nice thing is that because I'm power gaining the entire time and he's stun immune, as you've already seen, I'm able to intercept him with my own specials to create openings pretty often, so I don't have to take too much block damage. And, with all the willpower healing and everything, I'm pretty much staying at full health, trying to bait out special 1s as best I can. Occasionally, like I said, I did have to block the special 2. Throwing my special 2 just does a little bit more damage. It gives me a little bit more power gain. So, I'm kind of alternating special 1s and special 2s. The special 1s are keeping the power control a little bit together, but in general, he's starting to stack those power gains, so I have to be a little bit more careful here. But fortunately, he is sort of playing into what I want him to do, throwing a lot of special 1s. And the cool thing about this is that this is only a 5-star Arcus, but I'm using a rank 1 Mephisto, which is pretty cool to bring a rank 1 to war. So this fight kind of feels like as if I were taking like a rank 2 Mephisto with going against like a rank 3 Arcus. So even though I only had a rank 1, because I was fighting a 5-star, it sort of had the same feel that like if I messed up, I was going up against a rank 3. And finally, my newest rank 3 is Falcon. I actually put up 90 million points for him in the arena to awaken him. So he is Sig 1, which gives him 2 extra seconds of locked on, which in this fight actually makes it a lot easier. And you'll notice I actually have Liquid Courage and Double Edge on, and I have a pretty big boost because I was in the middle of my Inhumans Labyrinth of Legends Karina run. So that's why I'm so heavily boosted, and this fight's going very quickly. But I will say, you'll notice that he did auto-block me just a second ago, and that's because M.O.D.O.K has something called Flux, which adds ability accuracy and other statistical benefits to him as the fight progresses. So, you'll notice that even when you have locked on, which is negative 100% defensive ability accuracy reduction, it is possible for him to get as much as 115%. Which means that he will be able to auto block you and sometimes give a poison or incinerate to you. But overall, Falcon just owns that fight. I could have certainly used Quake, but I always worry about Quake against M.O.D.O.K because he can throw heavy attacks in the corner, and those are very difficult for me to evade, and you can get the incinerate on you. So I prefer to not use Quake against stun immune M.O.D.O.K, and that's why I chose Falcon there. But anyway, guys, I will be doing a few more Alliance War fights on the channel in the upcoming week, but I hope you enjoyed this segment of the video, and I will catch you guys next time.